Believe it or not, you only need 2 sheets of paper to make this beautiful 3D Christmas star. It's a lot easier than you think. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to make this 8-point Christmas star, step by step. If you're new here, I'm Catherine from Catherine Learns Stuff, where I help busy moms find a few moments to make relaxing creative crafts in the time that they have for themselves. If you like simple creative crafts, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you can get notified about my next project. So let's jump in. Let's start with supplies. You'll need 2 sheets of cardstock, or paper if you prefer. Ideally, you want squares, but if you don't have squares, you can easily trim it down. I'm using 12 by 12 cardstock today. The bigger the paper, the bigger the star, and if you don't have 12 by 12 and you only have 8.5 by 11, you can trim it down to an 8.5 inch square. You'll also need some glue. I'm using both craft glue and a hot glue gun. You can absolutely get away with just a hot glue gun, but I find crafting glue doesn't always work well on the later steps. We will need some scissors for precision cutting, because we always do. And finally, if you want to hang this star, you'll need some yarn or thread and a large needle. Everything I'm using today, the cardstock, the glue, the scissors, the tools, is linked for you in the description of the video below so you can check them out. Alright, so now that we've got our supplies sorted out, it's time to start making this star. The first thing we need to do is grab 1 sheet of our paper to get this project started. When we're working on this design, you want to make sure that you have the design facing downwards or out on the design, so all of your folds will be in onto the white side of the page. If your page has 2 colors on it, you want to make sure that the same design is on the outside of both of the pages on the folds. The first thing that we're going to do is simply fold it in half along the corners so that it's in a diagonal. And we're going to do 4 folds in total on this page, and they're all very simple. We do 1 fold along the center on the diagonal and then again in the other direction. And once we have those, we will then fold the page in half along to make it into a rectangle, and then we'll fold it in the other direction as well. Once you're done all of your folds, you should have 8 triangular pieces inside of your cardstock. Now it's time to pull out our scissors and start cutting. You want to cut in the middle of the straight edge towards the center. This is along a fold line, but you're only cutting halfway up. Now you don't need to measure this. You can eyeball it if you want, but if you are going to measure it and you're using 12 by 12 paper, you're going to need to measure 3 inches from the edge. Now, if you're just eyeballing it like I do and you cut too far, that's not a problem. And if you don't cut far enough, when you're folding your paper later, you'll notice that and you can adjust the cut length. Once all 4 sides are cut, so you're gonna have a cut on each straight side of your square, it's time to start folding. You're going to fold the outer edge of the cut sheet into the center of your point fold, and you're going to repeat this on all 8 sides of this square now that you've got, and each point is going to turn into a tip, and we just keep doing that folding until we've made it all the way around the square. Okay, so now the hard work is done. It's time to pull out our glue and get a little bit messy. This part is fairly simple, but you just want to take some special care when you're doing this. Apply glue to one side of the folded point and stick the other side on top of it. With the 12 by 12 cardstock being so long, I find that the tip of the star doesn't close all the way after I've applied glue, so I like to put my pen inside and hold it gently against the paper while I hold the other side with my hand to allow the glue to dry. Since I'm using a quick dry glue, this dries pretty quickly and I don't have to hold it for very long. Now you're going to repeat this for the remaining 3 sides. I just want to point out that when you are gluing these tips together, if you press the fold all the way together so the bottom fold touches the top corner fold, your star won't lie flat on the tabletop or against your wall. It's going to form a bit of a dome, and that's okay. You can have it like that. It'll still work when you attach it to your other star later, but if you don't want it to be as domed, you can make the star flatter by not pushing the corners together when you're gluing this. Hooray! We finished our first star. If you want to stop here and have only a 4-point star, then you're done. All you need to do is find a place to put this on your wall. But if you want to keep going and make a big 8-point star with me, let's keep moving. Let me know, are you going to stop at a 4-point star, or are you going to go all the way to make an 8-point star? Let me know in the comments below. Now that we've got 1 star done, time to pull out our second piece of paper and finish this project off. Okay, now that we have both our star pieces completed, we have a few final things to do. You'll notice here on this one that the point isn't really pointy, it's kind of bent out of its shape. So you just want to push the corners back into place so that you have a point of a star. And since we've already folded it here in these spots, it's just a simple push down with your fingers and then it'll be ready to go. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is glue this together. But now that I've placed this like this, it's given me an idea. So hold on to that thought. We're going to come back to this new idea that I've got in just a second. But first we're gonna get back to gluing this. So the idea is the star is gonna look like this backwards, right? So we're gonna have it like this. And one side will look like this, and the other side is gonna look like this. Basically the same thing. So all you need to do is you need to put some pieces of glue, some dabs of glue here. And this is where I use my glue gun because I find that the glue gun dries faster and it'll hold it better. Is if I use my crafting glue, it's going to slip and slide and not seal the way that I want to. Now that my glue gun's hot, I'm just gonna put 4 dabs of glue. Now you can like do a straight line if you want, but I'm just doing 4 dabs of glue. My glue is currently not the greatest and it leaks anyways, so I'm gonna have lines in between as it is. So now I'm going to make sure my star is aligned sort of 45 degrees angle, and I'm just gonna squish this together. Now, there is a bit of a bow in the design here, and that's okay. It's just going to hold this together. And we're just gonna hold this together while the glue dries, and that's gonna be the star. So, while this is drying, let's go back to the idea that I just had. Okay, so if you know me, you know I like to go overboard sometimes, and I had this great idea while we were making the blue star. What if we did it like crazy? Because look how these beautifully look when they're like this, but what if we did 2 and 2 and then put it together like a super multi-star? So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a super multi-star. My glue gun is hot, so I'm gonna glue on top this way for 2 of these, and then I'm gonna glue them together that way as well. So what am I doing here? I'm gonna put glue kind of in these corners here, these edges, so that it can stick to the outer edge of my other snowflake star. And we're just gonna pop this on here, like so. And we're gonna do the same thing with this one here. Am I doing this? Put this here. Now we're gonna glue these 2 bad boys together. So we're gonna have it like megastar. So bear with me. We're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna put more glue on the inside here. And we're going to put this on a 45-degree angle. And now we've got a mega star. So we're gonna change our angle in just a second and take a look at this. I think this is gonna look awesome. And this is what the 18-point star looks like. Okay, now that the star is glued and dried, we have to do one last thing. If you want to hang this up, I mean, you can just leave this as a piece of decoration on your countertop if you prefer, but we are going to put a thread through this. So you can either use white if you have it, or maybe a matching color. I'm gonna go with blue for this. And all we're going to do is just thread this through. And I've got a whole bunch of weird tools here. I've got this little thing here which helps me put it through my thread into my needle, but I'm gonna use it for my yarn instead. All right, so I've got this through here. And now I'm gonna attach this to my needle, if I can. And now this is all gonna go through my, just going to poke this through my star. And I'm gonna pull this all through. And now I'm gonna have this ready to hang up. And now this is ready to go. And we're gonna do the same thing for all of the other stars that we have as well. Hooray, we finished our 8-point Christmas stars. And as an added bonus, we have a 16-point Christmas star as well. I think maybe we went overboard on this one, but I really like the way that this one looks at the front, with this one is a bit different. So let me know which one you're gonna make. Are you gonna go 4, 8, or 16? Just a few things that I wanted to mention as well while I was making these stars. The first star that I made You can notice here on the back in a little bit, you can see that there, you can see into the gaps here. If you don't like that gap there, you could put in a piece of paper, like a square, and cut it into that spot and glue it on before you're putting these together. The only problem that I find is that the cardstock that I buy, typically the packages only have 2 of the same sheet in each package. So that piece in there would be a different color than what I have here. So it might stand out even more, which I don't know if I really want to happen. And I don't mind it showing out like that at all. So I like this star a lot because 2 pieces of paper, super easy to make. I know I went overboard with this one, but I happen to have 4 sheets of this paper, so I was able to do that. And I thought it looked really neat from the front. So this can go somewhere as well. And I wouldn't worry about the dome shape. You can kind of see it a little bit more here, the dome shape where they're a little bit bowed out, more so than on this one where I tried to make it a little bit flatter, but it's not a huge difference and they both still work beautifully. So if you tried out this project, if you made the 4, 8, or 16 star, let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like and share this video if you found this craft helpful. And that's it. We made the 8-point 3D paper star. Hopefully you've enjoyed this craft as much as I have. Let me know in the comments below which one you made. Did you make the 4, the 8, or the 16-point star that we did today? Thanks so much for watching and happy crafting. Now where am I going to hang all of these stars?